Hi everyone, we're excited to announce that we now have design to cost metrics available for reporting from aPriori, both from aPriori Professional via Excel-based reports and within Cost Insight Report. Today we're going to take a look at Cost Insight Report, both the out-of-the-box report for machining design to cost, as well as some ad hoc reporting. The out-of-the-box DTC report is intended to be run on a set of parts that help identify outliers, parts that will be most valuable for engineers to take a look at, and is designed as a multi-screen report that allows us to filter down results with increased granularity. So I've ran this report on a roll-up of parts, and the first screen that we see is a high-level outlier identification report showing us several metrics. First, we can see the chart itself represents cost versus mass of all of these parts, a very standard identifier of design complexity. We can also see the high-level design to cost score for each part based on the red, yellow, and green highlighting representing high, medium, and low scores. Finally, we can see the annual spend of parts as represented by the size of the bubble for each part. All of these metrics are available as filters to allow us to down-select our data as we get into more and more detailed analysis. I'm going to filter out just the low DTC scores and move on to the comparison report, the next step of this report. This report shows us 4 charts highlighting key design to cost metrics. The visual charts make it really easy to identify outliers in a given category. We can see manufacturing issues in the top left, which plots the count and types of manufacturing issues for each part, indicating parts that may be difficult to manufacture. Slow, time-consuming operations are highlighted in the top right chart, where we can see a clear outlier on one of the components. In the bottom left, we show the count of non-standard tools required to make holes and fillets on the part, which is not a great design practice and should be avoided whenever possible. And in the bottom right, we can see the count of tolerances driving specialized finishing, which can be a big cost driver. Using this data, we can then select specific parts, such as outliers in each of these categories, that we want to investigate further. And from here, we can launch into the final details report based on those components that we down-selected to. Now, this details view exposes all of the metrics we used to create the previous 2 reports in a table format. This report can serve as a punch list for the key parts that an engineer or an engineering team needs to take a further look at to potentially redesign. So this report would be a great deliverable from a manager or a cost expert to an engineering team. Also from here, we can launch a DTC report on a specific part. Within this report, we can see all of the relevant DTC data for that given scenario. Lastly, I want to note that these metrics are also available within ad hoc reporting. So I've created an ad hoc report that I've run on this data set that shows me the machining issues for each part in this data set. This ad hoc report can be created very quickly to show the metrics that are most relevant to you and your team. That's all for our DTC reporting overview. Thanks for listening. Talk to you soon.